Hiya YouTubers, I am JabeerIni and I'll show you today how to brew a beautiful beer at home. As you may have already seen in the title of this video, the beer we'll be brewing today is a clone of the Old Speckled Hen. And you may ask yourselves, why do you want to clone a commercial beer? Well, as for anything in life, there's a number of reasons. First, you could try cloning a beer for the challenge it implies. You could also try and clone a beer because it's cheaper. It may be cheaper actually. It depends on the beer you choose, it depends on where you live, and it depends on the ingredients you'll use for the beer. So I won't conclude that cloning allows you to have cheaper beer, but it may. And a third reason I can think of, and which is actually why I'm doing it, is because it allows you to try different techniques. For cloning this beer, we won't use an old grain technique. We will use a partial extract, and we will use dry malt extract. I've never used it before, so it's a good chance for me to try it. We will also be using some specialty grains and cane sugar. And why do I want to clone this beer in particular? Well, because I love it. Otherwise it wouldn't make any sense trying to clone a beer you don't love, would it? But apart from that, I have seen that it seems not to be really easy to clone this beer. I've seen a number of videos on YouTube and I've seen some forums and stuff online. And a lot of people have tried it and a lot of people have failed. Apparently to get to this exact color is not easy. The clearness of the beer is another tough bone to roll, obviously. And I think that those reasons, along with some other factors, are the main explanation why a lot of people recognize that their clone isn't actually close to the original one. However, the recipe I'm using to clone this beer is sort of famous, and some people have used it and say that they get really close to that. So in conclusion, even if I don't get to clone this beer, or even if I don't get really close to this beer, I will end up with a nice beer. So it's worth giving it a try. Needless to say that I would obviously recommend you to try this beer if you haven't. Let's open it. And let's pour it. Alright, I like everything in this beer. The color is amazing, it's really clear, it's got a nice carbonation, it doesn't have too much head. I don't like big heads. It's got a very nice smell. The first thing you notice is the malt. This is a malty beer, this is not a hoppy beer, but you can also taste those hops. The aroma is amazing, as I said. Let's try it. Beautiful. The first thing you notice is a flavor to malt. Malt is predominant in this beer, and apart from malt, you taste toffee. What I really like about this taste to toffee is that it's not a traditional toffee that you would normally find anywhere. It's like when you make toffee at home and you accidentally or deliberately burn it just a little bit. That's the taste in particular that I really like in this beer. After that, you can then taste the hops. It's a very well balanced beer. It's got some sweetness, but it's not a sweet beer. It's got some bitterness, but it's not a bitter. It's got some hops, but it's not a hoppy beer. And it's got malt, but it's not a malty, super malty beer. So this is what I would consider one of the most well-balanced beers that I have tried. By the way, if you want a complete and detailed review of this beer or of almost any beer in the world, I would totally recommend you to visit a YouTube channel called Real Ale Craft Beer. It belongs to a guy called Simon Martin. Simon Martin, if you're seeing this, cheers. And he's been reviewing beers for years. He's very experienced and he goes into deep details in every single review he makes. So I would recommend you to visit his YouTube channel. I have done it myself several times and I agree with his point of view on several beers. So without further ado, let's get brewing! Okay, so here we are in the kitchen. Let me give you a quick overview of the ingredients we'll be using. First off, water. We'll be using this 5-liter container as a fermenter. 100 grams of Maris Otter, 50 grams of crystal, 50 grams of cane sugar, 350 grams of light dry malt extract. Now the hops: Challenger and EK Goldings. We'll be using a quarter of a tablet of Protafloc. This time it's mandatory, otherwise the beer won't be clear, and we're particularly interested in that. And of course our yeast. This is an S33. I already used half of it for our smash, Chinook smash last week, and resealed it with tape, so this is good to go. So as usual, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pour the whole content of this bottle, this is 5 liter, of water in our pot, and we're gonna get that to 65 degrees. In the meantime, let's measure our grains and hops so that they're ready when they need to be used. So let's start with Maris Otter. It's 100 grams, what we need. Okay. And now 50 grams of crystal. There it is. So now I can just put these two together. There they are. Now the hops. We need 5 grams of Challenger, and there they are. Now we need a second portion of Challenger of 2 grams. Those weird noises are coming from the pot, and there we have it, 2 grams. And we'll do the same with the EK Goldings. 1 portion of 5 grams. There we have it. And another portion of 2 grams. There it is. We need 350 grams of light dry malt extract. Gotta be really careful with this because it's really sticky. And there we have it. We had already measured our cane sugar. This is 50 grams. And we're done. All we have to do is wait until the water is at 65 degrees so that we can start the partial mash. Cheers. Okay, water's at 65 degrees now. Time to put our grains in, and we'll have to leave them mashing for 60 minutes. Okay, so 60 minutes have passed. Time to take those grains out. And you can already see that the color of what will be our wort is dark. It's not too dark, actually, it's like a dark amber. So in the meantime, I'm gonna sparge these grains, and I have already turned the heat on maximum power because we need a running boil for the hop additions. So here I am sparging these grains, and actually this got me thinking that brewing small batches is a very big advantage when you're experimenting like this. I mean, instead of brewing a whole batch of 5 gallons, you could experiment 5 times and do some little variances and modifications here and there. The margin that you have for experimenting and the reduction of your risks and losses is huge. It's actually 500% more. Imagine if you brewed 5 batches, you would end up with 25 liters of beer, and probably one of them would be just like the one you're trying to brew. So what do you do with the rest of them? Well, of course you drink them. It's gonna be good beer anyway. But with small batches, you would only end up with a few bottles here and there. And once you have found the configuration you're looking for, then you're done, ready to brew a full batch. Alright, so this is it. I'll just wait until we have a running boil for all the hop additions. One quick comment before we start with the hop additions once our wort starts boiling is that it is only at the last 10 minutes of the boil when we will add our dry malt extract and the sugar cane. These are the specifications of the recipe I found online, and I believe that this is due to the fact that you don't want to overcook or overboil your dry malt extract and your sugar cane, because not only that's unnecessary, but also it would make the wort darker. And there is a specific color we're looking for. It's this. And this is the main reason why I believe that most of the fermentables are added actually at the end of the boil. See you in a few. Cheers! Okay, so now we got a running boil. Time to add 5 grams of Challenger hops. These are the bittering hops. Now we have to wait 45 minutes for the second hop additions. I'll be right back. Okay, so almost 45 minutes have passed. It's time to add our flavor hops. And in they go. It's 2 grams of Challenger, 2 grams of EK Goldings. Okay, last 10 minutes. Time to add the cane sugar. In it goes. The dry malt extract. This is not being easy. Not easy at all. Well, I guess I took most of it out. And quarter of a tablet of Protafloc. It's actually a little bit more than a quarter of a tablet. Okay, last minute, time for our last addition. This is the aroma addition. So since it's only a minute we got, I already have my sink full of water. Time to cool down this beauty. I'm trying to be as accurate as possible with this recipe to see how close we can actually get to the original. So I'm stirring vigorously as fast as I can to cool it down as fast as possible. But in any case, I know it will be less than 5 minutes. So, see you in a few. Okay, so 25 degrees. That's enough now, because we will lose some degrees when transferring it to this pot. So here we go. Let's pour the rest of it. Okay, so there we have it. Now it's time to pitch our yeast. Before cutting this packet, I sprayed some Star San over it and on the scissors as well. So in it goes. This yeast I would definitely recommend. This is a strong and healthy yeast. Thumbs up for S33. So this is it. Now we just have to put our lid on with the hole I drilled and the airlock. All this is of course sanitized. We just add carefully a little water and put this on top. By the way, here's a pic of the original gravity. In the picture, even if the quality is high, I'm not really sure you can see the actual gravity reading, but it is 1040, exactly 1040. It's a little lower than I expected, but let's see how it goes. So here we are. Actually, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't record this last part of the video until next day because I needed to keep things quiet up here yesterday. But hey, here we are, and the good news is that this allowed me to give you some news on what's going on back there. As you can see, I've placed our fermenting wort, because it's not a beer yet, next to her sister, the smash, the Chinook Maris Otter smash we brewed last week. And it will be there for 10 to 14 days, I think. You can also notice that the dark ale is no longer there. That's because I bottled it just minutes ago. So it's now bottle conditioning. I will keep it bottle conditioning for at least 3 weeks. And after that, I'll be shooting a video of me trying it for you to see what the result is. Now, going back to the Old Speckled Hen clone back there, one thing I have to emphasize is how amazed I am on how quick the yeast started to act. After I pitched it, not even 20 minutes had passed and the airlock was already bubbling. So I would definitely recommend this yeast. It's amazingly quick, it's very vigorous. As you can see, it's already bubbling there. I cannot conclude on the flavor yet because I haven't tried it. I guess I'll have to conclude on that once we try the smash. But so far it's only smelling good. I mean, I got this studio full of hop aroma, it smells really, really, really good. So I really doubt that with that amount of hop contribution there could be any yeast flavor. But in any case, we'll see. I'll tell you my honest opinion. Color-wise, I would say we're really, really close. But that actually got me thinking on what's the determinant factor that allows you to conclude that your beer is actually a clone of the original. Is it the flavor? Is it the color? I guess it's indeed a mix. It should look like it had the same taste, aroma, flavor, body. This can be as complex as you want. But if I only had to choose one factor, I would say it's the taste. I mean, I would be satisfied if my beer tasted just like the Old Speckled Hen, even if the color is a little lighter or darker. What do you think? Is it the flavor? Is it the color? Is it a mix? Please tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Finally, for next week, we'll be brewing a fruity beer. This is not a beer that tastes like fruit. We will actually be adding fruit to our wort to make our beer taste like that fruit. This is something I've been willing to do since a while now, because I've noticed that there is not too much information or videos on YouTube, so I guess it will be a nice idea if I do it. Of course, you know, I'll keep the fruit secret until next week, but I can tell you this is a fruit that most of the people like. So I guess this will be interesting for a lot of you. That's it for this week. As always, it's been a pleasure for me doing this. I really hope you find this video useful. If you like the Old Speckled Hen and this can help you to clone it at home, well, more than glad to be of service. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and like. And as usual, thanks for watching. Cheers and beers!